Imagine flying over the Atlantic at night, calm skies. A smooth climb, nothing unusual. Then, without warning, a faint smell of smoke drifts into the cockpit. No alarms, no flashing lights, just a smell. Minutes later, one of the world's most advanced airliners is crippled, blinded, burning, and falling from the sky. This is the story of Swissair Flight 111, the onboard fire that gave no warning, and the chain of hidden dangers that turned a routine flight into a devastating tragedy. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of aviation's most haunting cases of fire, so silent and so fast-moving that even an experienced crew had no chance to escape it. This is not just a crash story. It's a lesson in hidden materials, cockpit overload, and how a seemingly minor distraction can escalate into a catastrophe. If you love detailed aviation breakdowns, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's uncover the real story behind Swissair 111. September 2, 1998. Swissair Flight 111 and MPET awaits departure at New York's JFK Airport. On board, 215 passengers, 14 crew, and one of the world's most respected airlines, known as the Flying Bank. The flight is bound for Geneva, a journey of about 7 hours. At 8:18 p.m., the flight takes off and climbs smoothly through calm night air, turning northeast toward the open Atlantic. Captain Joris Zimmermann and First Officer Stefan Liu have over 30,000 combined flight hours. They're experienced, calm, and familiar with the aircraft. But hidden above them behind the cockpit ceiling, something is slowly starting to go wrong. Around 10:14 p.m., just off the coast of Nova Scotia, the first sign appears. Not a warning light, not an alarm, just a smell. A faint, unusual odor drifts into the cockpit. The crew notes it. They look around. Electrical fires often trigger automatic detection, but nothing shows up. No smoke, no visible flames. They believe the smell is coming from the air conditioning system. A common occurrence, nothing urgent. But this wasn't air conditioning. It was the beginning of an electrical fire hidden deep behind insulation. A few minutes later, the smell grows stronger. The pilots decide to act. They radio Moncton Air Traffic Control and calmly request a diversion to Boston. Not an emergency, not a mayday, just a precaution. But ATC offers something better. The pilots are directly south of Halifax, only 20 minutes away. The crew accepts and begins a gentle descent. Everything still looks normal. The passengers feel nothing abnormal. The cabin is calm, but behind the cockpit walls, a fire is spreading faster than anyone realizes. Inside the MD-11 ceiling, electrical wiring wrapped in flammable MPET insulation is overheating. The material is notorious. It can ignite easily and burn rapidly. Yet there are no sensors in that area. No alarms. No automatic fire suppression. The aircraft is essentially blind to its own danger. Within minutes, the fire escalates from small sizzling wires to a fast-moving blaze tearing through insulation blankets, melting cables, and filling hidden compartments with smoke. The crew still doesn't know. 10:18 p.m. The first real clue appears. Strange, flickering readings from the flight management system. Something electrical is failing. Then smoke. Actual smoke begins creeping into the cockpit. Now, the situation changes instantly. The crew declares, pan, signaling urgency, but not an immediate threat to life. They prepare the aircraft for landing, but the fire is growing exponentially faster than they can respond. Suddenly, several key instruments begin to fail. Autopilot disconnects. Navigation screens flicker. Lights dim. The MD-11 cockpit is turning into chaos. The crew considers dumping fuel to reduce landing weight, an action that takes time but is standard procedure. But as they prepare, the fire reaches the main power bundles. Entire electrical buses fail. The radios cut out. Screens turn black. Cooling fans shut down. The cockpit plunges into darkness, illuminated only by dim emergency lights. They are losing the airplane. 10:24 p.m. ATC tries to contact Swissair 111. Silence. Inside the cockpit, the situation is catastrophic. Smoke thickens rapidly. The pilots can barely breathe. The heat intensifies. The fire is directly above them, melting wires, cooking metal, consuming critical systems. The crew attempts one final action: emergency descent. They push the nose down, but seconds later, the cockpit becomes uninhabitable. The fire destroys the last of the flight instruments. The crew is flying blind. The MD-11 begins rolling, banking, descending uncontrollably. At 10:31 p.m., just 7 minutes after the first visible signs of smoke, Swissair 111 strikes the water near Peggy's Cove, Nova Scotia, at high speed. The impact is unsurvivable. The aircraft disintegrates instantly. Search crews find no survivors. The tragedy marks one of the most devastating in Canadian aviation history. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada (TSB) launches one of the largest and most complex investigations ever attempted. The findings are chilling. 1. The fire started from faulty wiring. A cable connected to the in-flight entertainment system was likely the ignition source. 2. MPET insulation, highly flammable, allowed the fire to spread at extreme speed. The insulation, used widely at the time, was basically fuel. 3. The aircraft had no detection systems in that area. The fire spread behind walls and ceilings, completely undetected. 4. The crew had no training for a hidden, uncontrollable fire. Procedures assumed fires would be visible and manageable. Swissair 111 showed that this assumption was tragically wrong. This accident transformed aviation safety. MPET insulation was banned worldwide. Wiring standards were rewritten. Fire detection and suppression systems were expanded. Crew training improved significantly. Certification rules were updated for hidden fires. Swissair 111 became a turning point, prompting some of the most important reforms in modern aircraft design. It's easy to focus on the technical story, but at its heart, Swissair 111 was a flight full of people heading home, traveling for work, going on vacations, visiting families. 20 minutes separated them from safety. 20 minutes. Had the fire been detected earlier, had the materials been less flammable, had even a single system survived longer, the ending might have been different. Swissair Flight 111 is a reminder of the silent threats that can hide behind the panels of even the most advanced aircraft. A reminder that fire, especially electrical fire, is one of aviation's deadliest opponents. And a reminder that change in aviation often comes from tragedy, but those changes save countless lives in the decades that follow. If you found this deep dive informative, hit the like button, subscribe for more aviation investigations, and let me know in the comments which incident you want next. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and keep flying curious.